Go live. And that's it. We're live. Late cell. That's me. Okay, let's begin. This is going to be quick, guys. So let's start without further ado.
You heard it, boys. It's going to be quick. It's going to be a 5-hour stream. Okay, that's what quick means.
Exactly. All right. I don't know if you'll hear this intro. It might be silent to you, but I'll start speaking to you soon. Okay. All right. Let's begin. This is Black Pill View Season 1 Episode 2 with guest Dante Aerophysia, and this is the real Episode 2, by the way. Let's memory hole the one that happened last weekend. I'm never speaking to a red pillar again. There's so little to gain. I mean, we agree on some things, but then the core of what we disagree with, there's no movement on either side. So I mean, we could anyway, so that didn't happen, but this is happening right now. By the way, these Sunday streams are purely by accident. It's just a symptom of preparedness and guest availability and that kind of thing. So this isn't like a regular scheduled thing. This is just how it's worked out. We may be back to Saturday soon. Anyway, let's talk about this really quickly. A lot of what people find antagonistic about the black pill is that it's judged as purely being an ideology rather than a study of human sensual appeal, or particularly female sensual appeal, or what appeals to females, women, let's call them. All right. So I guess the perception of the black pill is us barking, women want tall Chad, rather than us asking what makes a tall Chad, or what makes tall height and a broad masculine chin or hunter eyes so attractive that it would be highly selected for sensually. I think that is a better question to ask. Let me move to something else. That would be a better question to ask than just stating, blurting out, women want tall Chad. So yeah, the ideology of the black pill is being formed by like a study of human sensual appeal and evolutionary psychology, and maybe even sexual selection, I would say. But yeah, I think that people are quick to jump on the black pill as being antagonistic, when that's not what the goal of it is. I was gonna say something. Hold on a sec. Right, yeah, so let's look at this straight away. By the way, let me say hello to the guest, Dante. Hi, how are you?
Hello there. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm fan and dandy on this, beautiful summer's Independence Day, where we told you sea-sipping sissies to go take a hike, over across the pond over in London land. So... yeah, if you can't tell, I'm already a little bit drunk, so let's get into this.
We've swapped around. It's usually me who's drunk, but like I've left those ways behind. Let's look at this first of all. Right, so there seems to be the title of the stream today is "Some features are just more aesthetically pleasing than others," and I think that that should be understood by everyone. It should be understood as fact. But you get these blue pillars who think that no, it's in the eye of the beholder. I think the black pill is a strong argument against this beauty being in the eye of the beholder myth. And let's just start off with this to get us into it. And if, in fact, rather than show you, I was going to show you the screenshots of this, but I think it might be actually beneficial to look at the actual clips. So let's go to, I'm going to go to this on my PC. Hold on a sec. I think that's where it is. All right, so let me see if I can get the volume up. And I can't start it from scratch, so I just have to play it from in the middle.
Oh my God, Ronnie.
White J, white Porsche, white wrist, white horse, high bitch.
Oh my God, Ronnie.
Right, we've gotten that. It's just a guy, good-looking guy playing golf. And if we look at the comments on this, I might have to shrink my window. Let me see how I can bring more of my window into focus. If I can, all right, I know what to do. I will edit transform. Give me a sec. Right, 350. All right, I think that does it. Let's do 25. Right, if we look at some of these comments down the side, we've got this is so from Trish PH. These are all like women commenting. So basically, if you didn't see this, if you're listening to this, say at the gym or something, we've just looked at a clip on TikTok of a good-looking guy playing golf. Typical good-looking features. Probably not like a 9 or anything, but I would say like at least getting on for an 8. And so, yeah, he smirks at the camera. So Trish PH said, "This is so satisfying. It made my jaw drop." We've got comments from Afziri from the block, who said, "I think I will never recover from this video." Sam said, "Sorry, I'm actually in love." Your local, I won't say that, your local something head said, "Can I be your backup cameraman?" Bree said, "Wow, can you teach me how to play golf?" Kelly M said, "Possibly watch this for 10 times." And so on. Why you look so hot? There is a certain type of comment that I am looking for that I'm just going to scroll down because I remember seeing it last time I looked at this. If I can't find it, I'll just summarize it. I'm in love. Are you single and looking for a date? Think you should give me a chance. Oh my gosh, marry me. Marry me, marry me. It's my goal this year to tear up the golf course. Me and my vintage ass club. And basically, I'm not going to go through the rest of this, but the overarching comments, or the nature of the comments from women, was, "I never knew I liked golfing. I never knew golfing was so I never knew golfers could be so hot." And basically, it's just women crowding around a conventionally attractive man. Now, to the actual point, if there were not traits that the majority of women select for sensually, you know the word I'm trying to avoid. If there were not traits that the majority of women select for sensually, you wouldn't have this consensus of women gravitating to a physically attractive man unproportionally like this. It seems, I would go further, it's evident that when women are attracted to, when presented with a man who is physically attractive in the way that we know, broad jaw, masculine jaw, that kind of thing, hunter eyes, whatever, it seems like there's a consensus to women, or among women, among the majority of women that is physically attractive, that he has traits that are sensually selected for, or they would select for. So if we compare it with this,
I mean,
oh yeah, go ahead.
golf is like golf is basically the most boring sport in the world. I mean, I'm sure if this guy was like, spreading butter on toast, he would have gotten the same reaction.
I've seen that. I've actually seen. I'm going to shrink this down now because it's obfuscating some of the chat. We've actually seen photos of a good-looking man reading a book, and the comments from women were, "There's something about the way he's holding that book," or like I get that some of it might be tongue-in-cheek, but in a broader sense, there is a halo effect going on that is ignored by the masses, and that is that there are certain traits that we can say women select for sensually over others. So the idea of beauty being in the eye of the beholder is like a myth that is passed down, that doesn't really have any scientific backing. I don't think it does. I was going to compare it to this. Hold on a sec. Let me find it. Right, yeah. So you will get people who point to these kind of anecdotes. On screen, you're now looking at a live streamer. So you will get people who point to anecdotes like these to disprove that we find certain proportions or shapes of features attractive. So yes, the example we have on screen is of Erica Alexis. She is, as far as I know, she is the girlfriend of a live streamer, and you can see them posing for that picture. He happens to be shorter than her. The picture has the comment from Erica: 4 inches taller than my 5'2" king, but over 2 years strong, and I guess love heart emojis. Now, although this looks like hey, this is damning for the black pill, you don't see the mass female consensus speaking to his physical attractiveness. From the little I've researched into his background, there are no comment sections where his attractiveness is pointed out and women are rallying around him purely for his attractiveness. Now, this guy, Slicker, he does have 340,000 followers on Twitch, and being high status can help his attractiveness. And we're not denying that. Indeed, high status is a component of the black pill. The black pill doesn't deny that other factors than looks go into mate selection, status being one of them. But the fact remains that there isn't the mass fawning of women over his looks, and this is consistent with what we would expect given the tenets of the black pill. It fits perfectly into the black pill tenets, that traits that he possesses or is demonstrating are not physically attractive. And I'll go a step further just before you respond, Dante. I think it's even questionable whether the type of attraction his girlfriend has for him is couched in like a lustful, sensual attraction, or does is she gravitating to him as part of maybe like a dual mating strategy? Has she been with better looking guys, but maybe they treated her badly or they didn't value her? So is she dating down purposefully? Is her attraction to him somewhat, I don't know, like not brotherly, but like somewhat based on his the stability of the relationship? So yeah, you go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, I would tend to agree with that. Like you said, dual mating strategy. Is she, sleeping around with Chads behind his back and cuckolding this guy? But I mean, yeah, like attraction towards status. Like, is that the same degree of attraction she would have if she was dating a 6-foot guy with a big chin who didn't have that same sort of status? So, I mean, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there.
Okay. There was a comment from someone in the chat who said she's a streamer too. That may have something to do with her like affinity with him. Maybe that brought them into the same circles or something. But yeah, the fact remains that you don't see this consensus of women discussing his looks and being drawn to him because of his looks. So I think we can conclude that he doesn't possess traits that women find sensually attractive and that they would select for. We don't see that. So again, the black pill is describing a unfair reality. Someone said she wants more subscribers. The black pill describes an unfair reality that society is just not ready to discuss. I'm going to move into something. Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like you were saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and you're saying that's not true. Well, I think it's technically true, which is why we see these anecdotal cases. But the real question is, like, the reality is that there are objective reasons why there is objectivity to beauty. And yes, that forms our subjective basis. That, is what our psychology is built upon. And so that would suggest that there is a consensus as to what beauty is. So it's not just because beauty is subjective doesn't mean that it's going to be completely random.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to get to the super chat soon. Let me just move on with this. Right, sensual selection versus culture. So, it's hard to tell how much of a role culture plays in what we find attractive. But if we look at the two pictures on the screen, these are two people who have had a rhinoplasty surgery on their nose. I think this is like a really dumb question. Which nose is the more aesthetically pleasing here? I don't think we need to take much time to go into that. The nose on the left, in both cases, is hooked, looks misshapen, and the nose on the right looks more refined, I would say. Now, the original nose, the nose on the left, in each case, is functional. It does its job. Arguably, I don't know the specifics, but these noses that don't look good, they do their job. But I guess my point is that the nose on the left won't make these men unable to breathe. So if a nose such as the ones you see on the left don't cause these men to be unable to breathe, but they cause his genes to fail to reproduce by like natural selection, then
or sensual selection.
Sensual, yeah. Sorry. My point is that the nose on the left if you look at it from a natural selection standpoint, you could reproduce having these noses. There's nothing in nature, there's nothing in your biology that would stop a woman from mating with a guy with these noses, because that would be, there's nothing wrong. What's going on here, or why the noses on the right are more preferred, is purely sensual selection, right? And so I think we can say that the majority of people would find the noses on the right more attractive. If you're in the minority who would pick the over projected noses or hooked noses on the left, you would still have no problem believing or understanding that the post rhino noses are considered more widely aesthetic. Like you said, Dante, there is a objective measure of attractiveness. And let me just go into my theory of why I think there is a preference for the noses on the right. So we're attracted to beauty as opposed to deformity, and deformity could be such examples could be scar tissue, burns, breakages, asymmetry, what have you. I would posit that the noses on the left closer resemble a broken nose. Now, hear me out. It's more plausible that the noses on the left could have resulted from a collision or trauma, or than the noses on the right. So the noses on the left look more symmetrical. The noses on the left look more asymmetrical, and there is a kind of inconsistency to their look. Like their curve doesn't seem to be in relation to any other aspect on the face. The nose just seems to curve at a random point, and it doesn't seem to be in harmony with anything else in the face. So, but if you look at the noses on the right, I would say there is a consistent diagonal trajectory that makes them predictable in a sense. That's probably not the best word. Their trajectory is predictable, and looks healthier. There's something that looks healthier, less traumatic, or less likely that it could have been the result of trauma, I would say. And then the next point I would say is that the noses on the right have harmony. So the noses on the right are less overpowering. They take less focus away from the rest of the other features. And in that respect, there is the, you sound sober. It's not as overpowering, and it doesn't take away from the rest of the features, and thus there is a sort of balance brought to the face through the result of these rhinoplasties. But how much of this do you think is cultural, or how much is sensual selection, Dante?
It's kind of hard to say. You would have to do probably a formal study across cultures before I'd be willing to make a call one way or the other. What you're saying about broken noses, I mean, that might be true. I would say the null hypothesis is that it's just attractive because it's attractive. So if you're going to say that there's an adaptive value, then the burden of proof is on you to demonstrate why that is.
Okay.
And so, I mean, it might be true. And for that matter, let me play a little bit of devil's advocate. Wouldn't the noses on the left indicate that this man has access to resources? If you get what I'm saying?
Could be. I don't. What is the basis for that assertion? Just because Is it like in a tribal society? I think I read this, that bigger noses.
With a certain ethnic group. With a certain
Okay.
ethnic group. If I'm too explicit here,
Yeah.
we're going to get taken down like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to say it.
Okay, I think I get where everyone gets what page you're on. Yeah. There could be that. There is that to think about. But then, is the attraction sensual attraction, or is it attraction to perceived wealth or ability to provide at that point?
Yeah, and for that matter, like, to what extent does, a woman's ability to provide for herself and her offspring in modern society, like, how does that play into things? Because, women today, they can work for themselves, they have the welfare state, that sort of thing.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's have a look at some super chats quickly before I let them pile up. And I will let everyone else see these as well. So if I go to here, I'm going to do some refreshing. Right. Sorry, I'm juggling so many things right now. Let's see if you can see this. Right, I don't know how well you can see that, but you can see it somewhat on the screen. Let me read some of these super chats. Make sure I'm reading from the right day. Okay, so Katie Waity, I like that name. Katie Waity said for $7 Australian.99. What? I'm a girl who loves your videos or so entertaining. I'm a girl who loves your videos or so entertaining. Keep it up. I want to donate more. Okay. Wow. Lewis Barrow.
Why would?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Why would a girl want to watch any of this content at all? Like,
I would.
Yeah. Okay. To each their own, I suppose. Beauty is in the eye of the, in the eye of the beholder. So
maybe women like this content, especially the discussion points or the discussion topic this week, and probably more in the What Attracts Women videos. Maybe women want to know why they're rejecting certain men. Maybe that is what appeals to them, because I guess women might feel that their response to a man is purely emotional and purely based off the emotion he evokes. But I guess maybe there are some women who want to know why these emotions, why particular men evoke particular reactions. So I guess it might have some intellectual benefit for a woman to watch a What Attracts Women video, or a video such as this. Anyway, thanks for that, Katie.
Sure.
Lewis Barrow for $5 said, if Mayo men can C max, why can't SC Asian men Europe max? It's only fair. Yeah, I asked you a question before we began, Dante. Yeah, I think I made a note of it just because I didn't want to forget. Yeah, from an Evo Psych standpoint, I think you answered it as well, but let's do it again for the benefit of everyone else listening. From an Evo Psych standpoint, why would people be attracted to different colors? And by colors, I'm referring to RACE. Why would people be attracted to? Because my understanding of Evo Psych is that genes from, let's say, from a certain tribe, like, I don't know, the has a tribe, I don't know, you would expect your biology to make you attracted to the similar genes, such that those genes propagate, such that that color, that tribe continues. So why would we be attracted to different colors? And you know the word I'm trying to avoid. Why would we be attracted to different colors when that would, let's say, that would change the, I guess, homogeneity of your genetics? Why would we be attracted to that?
Because, well, for one, we don't want homogeneity. We want heterogeneity. We want, we want our traits to be heterozygous. So, there's a concept called the heterozygote advantage. So, like, if we have a set of alleles that are one way and a set of alleles are another way, it's kind of like we get the best of both worlds. So, mixing with people who are of different tribes, that could be advantageous as opposed to inbreeding in our own little tribes forever and ever, like the Habsburgs, and that would cause us to differentiate into our own species. As for, how this plays out when it comes to other races, well, some races are just objectively more attractive to the opposite gender than others. For example, Oriental people tend to be more neotenous. They tend to have a more gracile craniofacial structure. They're less dimorphic, I suppose. They're not as robust. The men aren't. And so the men have a more feminine craniofacial structure, and so that's going to be less attractive to women. But on the other hand, the same doesn't go the other way when it comes to white men being attracted to Oriental women.
But okay, so if there is a heterozygous, what's the word? Heterozygous, but what's the adjective? Heterozygal
advantage.
Yeah, heterozygal advantage to dating out, dating outside of your color, then shouldn't we all be doing that? Wouldn't we all be drawn to dating outside of our respective colors?
Well, there are also benefits to being attracted to somebody who is within your tribe also. Like, if you share more genes with somebody, there's what is known as kin altruism. So the theory being, the more genes you share with somebody, then the more interest you have in them also passing their genes on, because by virtue of the fact that you share each other's genes. And so it's advantageous for you to be altruistic towards one another. So somebody within your own tribe is going to share more genes with you. And so in theory, you're going to have more close-knit families. This is why some evolutionary psychologists have said that maybe third cousin is the ideal point, where it's close enough that you have, enough kin altruism to have a close-knit family, and distant enough that you have, heterozygote advantage.
Okay.
But this...
Yeah, go carry on.
Oh, yeah, this kind of gets thrown out the window because historically speaking, people from vastly different ethnic groups like blacks and whites and Orientals wouldn't intermingle to the same degree as they do in more recent times.
Okay, damn. See, this is why I brought Dante on, because this is high IQ stuff here, and more high IQ than I could manage on my own. I'm going to continue with the super chats. Where did we get up to? Pinky Culture for $2 said, have you played Super Mario Golf? Okay. Jake Truth Snake said, for $2, FACEandLMS, we appreciate the weekly live streams. All right, thank you. All right, let's go back to the content and let's look at this. Oh no. Let's look at this. So this is again one of my theories that I want to run by you, Dante. All right, the theory of unaesthetic primitiveness, right? And I've spelled it with two I's there. Just ignore that. If we look at this man on screen here, he's had a lip lift to shorten his philtrum. I think it's pretty obvious which is the shorter philtrum. The philtrum, if someone doesn't know, is the skin between the bottom of the nose and top of the lip, and then chin height is from the bottom of the lip to the chin, the end of the chin, or the bottom of the chin. So my theory is that and I think everyone here would agree that a shorter philtrum is more attractive than a longer one. But more concretely, there should be the ratio in which the philtrum length relates to the chin height should be in a sort of golden ratio, with the philtrum being maybe 1 part to the chin height being 2 parts, or twice as long or something. I think we could look at, if we look from the side, no, from the front, the impact, it's more impactful that what's occurred here through this surgery. On the left, this is before. On the right, this is after the lip lift. I did a quick calculation of the mid-face ratio. I think it was the mid-face ratio of this man before, which is the distance. But this is the calculation of the mid-face ratio is the distance between the pupils, or the interpupillary distance, divided by let me show you. In fact, this will make it a bit clearer. Yeah, so the distance between each pupil divided by the distance from one pupil to the top of the lip. And that ratio on the left, I calculated roughly as 0.86. And on the right, I calculated it as 0.88. But again, this is, from a picture that's, sourced from the internet. I mean, if I could source a more high resolution picture, it may change a bit. Anyway, the ideal mid-face ratio, according to many black pillars, is 1 or 1.1. This man went from going further away from the ideal ratio, mid-face ratio, to closer to the ideal mid-face ratio. So on one hand, why he's become more attractive on the right is that his mid-face ratio is closer to 1. His middle third, which is, between his eyebrows and top lip, or that kind of area, his middle third has become shorter and more harmonious with the other thirds of his face. So the upper third being from the hairline to the eyebrows, and then the bottom third being from the bottom of the chin to the, I think it's to the bottom of the nose, if I'm correct. I may be misremembering something, but essentially, shortening 1/3 of his face has made him more attractive. Am I wrong? Anyone in the chat? Do you think he became less attractive? Let's ignore the hair coloring. I think we can agree he's become more attractive. And besides his face, being closer to the ideal mid-face ratio now in the post-surgery result. What else makes his face more attractive on the right? I would argue, like I said, balance is more balanced. Also, I would say that there is an unaesthetic primitiveness that comes with having a long philtrum, or more concretely, having a philtrum that's disproportionate to the chin height. So I would posit that there are certain physical traits that have an unaesthetic primitiveness to them, such that we find them distasteful or unnecessary, or just
real
terrible.
Quick, can you define unaesthetic primitiveness? Because I'm a little confused as to what you mean by that.
Right, let me be concrete. A long philtrum looks quite chimpish, or like it looks like unevolved could I say, there is a certain group of people who live in Australasia who I don't want to refer to because I don't want this stream to be yeeted. But do you know the people who were in Australia before the British came? Yeah, I think we know who they are, right?
Guys who run around with their shirts off and worship trees. Yeah,
Yep.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I would argue that they have a unaesthetic primitiveness to their bone structure in many cases. There is the argument that some of them are mixed and don't conform to this, but just talking about a pure person of that background, there is a primitiveness about that bone structure that we find unappealing. And do you think there is traits like that could exist, that they just seem primitive to us, that they seem like we as humans, as evolved humans, shouldn't need traits that are that shape or that length or in that proportion?
I mean, why not? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by primitiveness. Like, that would have to be, like, I need a concrete definition, and I need a way of, like, measuring that. Because, like, otherwise, are we just defining primitiveness just arbitrarily? Like, oh, that looks more primitive, that looks more like other apes. I mean, ultimately, we are apes, so I would expect us to resemble apes in a lot of ways. So, like, I'm still not exactly sure what you mean.
Let me think of another way of okay, I'll just go on this thought experiment. In certain countries, people evolved to have a broader nose with more flared nostrils, and it's something about the way that humidity is taken into the nose and processed or something like that. And it does have a biological.
I've seen research that suggests that might not actually be true, but
oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why the noses are the way that they are, but yeah, go ahead with your point.
But even if there was a natural selection advantage or benefit of having a broad nose or flared nostrils, I think I could make the broad generalization that we find that trait primitive or unnecessary or unappealing, even if it had some benefit in the past to a group of people, a limited group of people. So, for instance, okay, let me be more clear. People with a broad nose and flared nostrils, they would find, on the whole, you would find that they find a refined nose and smaller nostrils attractive. So is there lack of finding that the primitive nose attractive? Is that because it's primitive and is it because it's primitive?
I still don't know what you mean by primitive. Like, I mean, there are traits that are considered more dimorphic, and I would say, like, other apes are more dimorphic than us. And for example, a more robust craniofacial structure is often considered more attractive by females. And you could also say that that's more primitive. So I don't know what you mean by more primitive.
Okay.
So if you want to say that, a certain nose shape is more attractive, I can agree with you on that, but I don't know what primitiveness means. I don't know how you define and measure that.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's just something I need to go into depth with more on my own and then come back stronger. It's just that I had a feeling that certain types of features would be regarded as, I can't say that word on YouTube, but okay, I won't say it. I'll just move on. Okay, right. Let's take some callers. So anyone want to call in? Then you know how to get into contact with me. It is FACEandLMS #3804 on Discord. Let's take one or two callers. So you guys, I'll type it here. Click on Waiting Bay. So if you're in the Discord right now, click on Waiting Bay and I'll drag you into the live stream channel and you can get on straight away. All right, while we're waiting for that, let's see if there are any super chats. Okay, we've got Tails who said for 5 CHF, the perfect nose is the average of all noses. Beauty is average when it comes to proportions. It shows perfect genetic line without tumors. Do you agree with that?
That might be true.
I don't know about averageness. I've heard this. Okay, people are calling. Let me just add them to this server. I don't know if I would declare averageness as attractive. For instance, would an average peen size be the most attractive, or would an above average peen size be the most attractive?
Typically, sensual selection goes for, bigger and more beautiful. So
then that nullifies the averageness theory, at least in part, right?
For sure.
Okay. So Tails, I'm not sure if that's something you've heard. I've heard it before, but I'm not sure if that's something that you could substantiate somehow. The Bitburg Slim for $5 said, if you ask guys to quell one, FK1, marry one with Disney Princess Jasmine is picked to get the D, Cinderella gets wifed and Mulan gets whacked. Okay, right, let's take some of these callers. I'm in the wrong server. I think it was Zoomer first. Zoomer, you're on Black Pill View. And that's entirely you. Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. All right. Greetings.
Thank you.
So,
go
ahead. Just to mention something, first of all, about so-called primitiveness.
Mm-hmm.
More specifically, a question. Face, did you mean by primitiveness that you meant something more like larger in size in terms of bone structure or bone size, whether that's cranium or limbs or anything in general that
I guess
in the past used to be.
I guess
in the
I
past
meant.
used to be
Yeah, go
larger.
ahead.
Right, that's understandable. I thought that you meant that exact thing. So, in terms of facial beauty standards amongst men and women, I personally believe that some guys like, for example, women with more broader, more wide faces, more square-like, but that is pretty subjective. I do agree, however, that a man's wider jawline or broader jaw is completely, without any doubt, it is valid. It is more attractive to women on average, regardless of actually no, not regardless. If a man has some other form deficiencies or some sort of uh lackings in terms of attractiveness, facial attractiveness, uh for example, a lower eye, the eyelids are improper. He's got injuries, facial injuries, for example, a scar or something else. The more square jawline could cover that damage, but it still on average lowers the sensual attractiveness, and that's just a fact, I believe. I think you can agree on that.
Could you be more clear? I'm not really sure what you're trying to say. I kind of get that. Did you say that a good
I'm a little
jaw?
bit confused.
Yeah. Did you say a broad jaw can cover, like, hide or make up for
Makeup
sins?
for scars or other forms of unattractiveness on the face. If the skull, if the cranium is larger, if the jawline is larger or more wide, it can cover some damage on the. It can cover some unattractiveness on the face.
But are you just saying that a good jaw can be can compensate for other traits, other bad traits? Then is that what you mean?
I think so, but there's always an exception.
Okay.
Well, couldn't you just say that about like any attractive trait? that compensates for an unattractive trait. Like, for example, if you have like really good height, like if you're 6'6", does that make up for having a less attractive face? Well, I would think we would say of course. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what you're getting at here.
Oh, I
Zuma?
thought you meant for a face, not exactly the entire body, but yes, the height is absolutely important, and it plays a major role. I don't deny that. I thought you meant for the face specifically.
Okay, Zuma. Thanks for
Well-
your call. You respond, Dante, first.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying, like, I mean, for any trait that's considered attractive, like I don't know why we're talking. Like, I'm just not sure what you're getting at here. I'm just a little bit confused. Like,
One question specifically: could you guys later in the stream talk something about like glasses and focus more on something like eyesight, not eye color, eyesight specifically in terms of survival, and if glasses, for example, lowered sensual attractiveness on average. Thank you.
All right, thanks. And I'm going to drag you into. All right, he's gone. Dante, do you want to speak to that? I haven't done any recent research into that, so I don't want to speak to it.
speak on what specifically?
Whether glasses. I think his point was: do glasses make you unattractive, or is there is there attractiveness based on having good eyesight or something like that? I think that was his point.
Well, I mean, glasses, they are something artificial that's added to your face, so they're not found in nature, so they couldn't possibly be something that's centrally selected for. So in theory, they would make you less attractive. So if you're going to wear glasses, obviously, like wear glasses with thin frames, I suppose. But he made me think of like Neanderthals. They had these massive, eye sockets, and they also had a massive occipital lobe. You put two and two together, and that would suggest that Neanderthals had probably had some, very good visual processing. Yet, if eyesight is something that is, centrally selected for, we would expect that maybe that would persist into modern times, and yet it hasn't. So I don't have a definitive answer to that.
My one pushback, I would say, on the heritability of certain traits to be passed on from like primitive times to now, there is the fact that women with bad, let's just say quote unquote bad or unfavorable traits do reproduce. So genes or traits that we see as attractive or we see as attractive in the past could have been attenuated or even wiped out through the ability of women, ugly women, to reproduce.
Absolutely, I completely agree with that.
Okay. Wow. I'm being agreed with Dante. This is good. Let me get Endless Battle. You're on Black Pill View. Anytime now.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey
Hello
there.
there.
Hey.
Hi.
Endless.
Yeah, so I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Loud and clear.
Fine and dandy.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so a good-looking face. I'm not sure it's entirely like majority genetic. I think there's various other factors to take into consideration. So I'm sure you've heard of these before, but I'm just going to reiterate these points that have like been spoken about in the black pill community. So the first one would be obviously having a good tongue posture, because you need to have that as a resistance to the gravity that's pulling down on your face, literally. Because as you get older, your face is basically being pulled down, isn't it?
I guess so. Yeah.
The second thing is having a hard diet. So having, nuts, seeds, I don't know, carrots, apples, anything that's crunchy, that requires a bit of resistance to chew on, is going to help strengthen the jaw and kind of keep it like more compact. And the other one, the last one, is not having any premature removal of your molar teeth.
Oh yes.
Because I've seen like you have like twins or sisters or brothers. They're not identical sometimes, but let's say you have twins as well, and they can look very different afterwards. Like one is a high tier normie, and the other one's like a sub 5 in terms of face. So I think those three factors are really important, and also probably a last one that's perhaps a bit overlooked. It's very subtle as well, and that's how you sleep. So if you're sleeping on your side a lot and you're causing a lot of pressure on your left or right side of your face, let's say it's your left side. If you're causing a lot of pressure on your left side of your face and you're sleeping in that position all the time for 5, 6, 7 hours or whatever, how long you're sleeping, over years or decades, it has a cumulative effect, and it's going to kind of make your face somewhat unsymmetrical. You can't just think, oh, it's not going to have an effect. It's going to have an effect on your face, I think, particularly when you're younger, when your face is still growing. So I think it's not just genetic. And I think also what you were saying before, FACEandLMS, when you were saying about how, these good-looking people like Chads, particularly Chad men, they're like their own race of men. Yeah. I think it's because of those factors, those 4 factors, I guess, not 3, but 4, like even the last one where I was saying about, your sleeping posture. I think all of those kind of like converge. And also another thing, just very last one before I stop talking and rambling. The last one is, I don't think that it's genetic that much, because if you look at, say, for example, a man and a woman, you'll find like a woman, let's say she's a model, she'll have a very defined jawline. She won't have a recessed jaw. She won't have a recessed chin, and she'll have strong cheekbones. Yet you can see a man, let's say he's 6'5" and he's bench pressing, I don't know, 350 pounds. He will have like a recessed chin. He'll have no real jawline. He'll have no real cheeks. But who's got more testosterone? It's obviously the man, right? So I don't think it's a genetic. I mean, our genetics controls our hormone levels. So I don't think it's a testosterone genetic thing that much. I think it's really down to, like I said, those 4 factors.
Wait, just let me just back up a sec. So your assertion was that women need testosterone to be attractive, then?
No, I didn't say that. No, that's not my point. My point was that I don't think it's down to testosterone. Okay, because like that's why I said before, like there's a guy called Face Hacking who's talked about this as well, and I think he's pretty much, Face Hacking is one word, by the way. If you look at his YouTube channel, I'm not trying to promote him or anything. I'm not trying to disrespect your channel, but he more or less proved my point. Like he clarified it for me. So I'll just reiterate it again, because I probably didn't explain it well. Essentially, if you look at your average, average sub 5 man, let's say, he typically has a very, recessed chin. He's got no real jawline, and he's got no real cheeks. Okay, those 3 things. Whereas you look at a woman, let's say she's like, I don't know, an 8 out of 10. She's a Stacy or even a Becky, but let's just say she's a Stacy. She's good looking, like a model. Now she'll have typically, those pronounced facial features. She'll have a good chin. There's no recession of the chin. She's got cheekbones, and she's got a strong jawline. So, obviously it's not down to testosterone causing her face to look more more angular, more like the ideal appearance.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. So I think that in itself kind of reinforces those arguments I was saying before, those 4 factors. That's why your face looks that way. And I think it's really important actually. One last thing. Like I know some people say, "Oh,
wait, can I just get on that because my brain is like a sieve. I'll forget. Sure. I haven't studied this, but something that just comes to mind is, couldn't the ability for testosterone to shape a woman's face into like a broad jaw and high cheekbones, couldn't it be to do with the threshold at which testosterone makes changes in women's faces versus in men's? For instance, couldn't it be that testosterone needs to reach a higher threshold in men before it results in a broad jaw than in women, where the threshold is quite lower?
I don't think so. I mean, the best person to ask really is probably someone who's what do you call it? One of these transsexual surgeons, someone who deals with this kind of stuff. But I mean, if that were the case, if you're saying it's just, it's a lot of it's to do to testosterone, you wouldn't have all this facial surgery done on these men who want to become women, right? Who want to have this sex change thing. It would just be predominantly like, a lot of it would be like, oh, it's hormones, it's changing my facial structure. But you could argue, well, that's because they're already fully grown up.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not having, so I don't really know.
A lot of it is hormones. Like if you look at transgender people who undergo hormone therapy, that does change the way their face looks. Like men who get, who have their gonads removed and have high doses of estrogen, their faces end up becoming more gracile, while women who get testosterone end up developing more robust faces. So yeah, testosterone definitely plays into it. But I do think you certainly have a point when it comes to like environmental factors, like habits, like your diet and how you sleep and your tongue posture. I do think that does absolutely play into things.
I'm a believer in mewing.
Go on.
I was just going to add, I'm a believer in mewing. I just doubt the extent to which it can help you, given having surpassed a certain age. Your bones are more set in stone, so to speak, and they're not still growing. Essentially, that's the main point. But yeah, I do.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it to become a Chad or anything. I'm just saying it because as you get older, your face gets longer. It's getting pulled down, and so, for example, your philtrum gets longer. Your face can start to sag. So I think it's in your own best interest, at the very least, to try and mew so you can kind of reduce that gradual effects occurring as you get older. But it's obviously up to you. If you feel like there's no point, then that's up to you. But that's something I would just recommend. The same thing, like if you don't want to, let's say you're like 5'5" or you're a lot shorter, you want to keep, especially if you're like on the cusp of being considered too short. You want to, let's say you're 5'7", you want to prevent yourself from getting any shorter, right? You don't want to lose that extra. You don't want to lose that inch or two, because as you get older, gravity pulls you down. You get potentially kyphosis. Interestingly, with women, just mention this briefly. Women, if they have, I think it happens to like 10% of women I've read. But basically, if they get pregnant, they can actually grow like an inch taller, and their feet get a little bit bigger.
I've heard that. I've heard that part.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of offset by the fact that potentially they might lose their height anyway because of kyphosis, because they've got all that pressure pulling them down by having a baby inside them.
So nature extends their height as a kind of compensatory factor. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, there's because there's a baby growing inside them as well, so it makes sense. But there's I don't know the exact names. I read it a while ago, but essentially, it's like 9 or 10% of women from this study show that they increased in height by like an inch or so, and their feet got bigger. I mean, the feet stuff makes sense on its own because they've got more weights.
Yeah, exactly.
Pressing down their feet, so it's going to expand a bit more.
All right, endless battle. I'm going to drag you into the lightning round, and we might do a lightning round at the end of this show. Okay, so if you want to stay on you can. If you want to go, you can. All right, so let me drag you here. Let's take, who was next? Let's take, I think it was Mimad T. Mimad T, you're on Black Pill View.
Yo, you talking to me?
Yep.
Okay, what's up?
Hey.
So I'm watching the stream about the previous guy, Endless Battle, and
Yeah.
what he was talking about with the mewing in your jaw.
Yeah.
So, like, it's actually more attractive to have, better jaw structure. It's obviously more attractive, but it actually benefits you in a healthy way because, when you have a good bite, you're going to sleep better. You're not going to have like sleep apnea. So, and when you have a good bite, like if you have an overbite or underbite, your teeth aren't in the right place. So, your teeth are going to get worn down. Pretty much, yeah. So it's actually beneficial, like in a healthy way, to be more attractive, like by having good bone structure.
Dante, following on from Mimad T's point, wouldn't a broad jaw be attractive because it demonstrates optimal growth? I mean, if you look at the documented cases of children, I guess, with poor tongue positioning, and then they are taught to position their tongue up against the roof of their mouth, and then it makes their jaw grow more forwardly and more wide. Isn't a broad jaw a demonstration that your jaw has grown optimally, or is it just physically attractive to have a broad jaw in your opinion? Or could it be both?
Well, I think, essentially, I mean, it's both of those things. I mean, things that are physically attractive, I think they fixate by virtue of the fact that they're physically attractive. That being said, I do think that attractiveness is more likely to occur when a trait is also adaptative. So, yeah, I would definitely say a broad chin is definitely an indicator of health. And yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other points, Mimad?
Yeah, and height as well. Like for a man, that's more attractive.
Yeah, it's sexually
essentially
dimorphic. That's like
I was reading last night that after the Black Plague, it was observed in Europeans that the dimorphism between men and women in terms of height was exacerbated. So men on average were like a couple inches taller, women on average were a couple inches shorter. And so, like, what selection benefit is there? That's the question we have to ask in terms of height as it pertains to surviving the Black Plague. Well, it could be that height is just an indicator of fitness. So, I don't think that any trait has to be an indicator of fitness. I don't think it has to be adaptative, but it certainly can be.
Yeah, not all. Like I think there are some traits that are like, having a good jaw, being tall. Like if you're tall, you're more likely to I'd say win a fight against a short person. Like, obviously, there are short people that, they gym max or whatever, look like idiots, to make up for it.
Yeah.
But they're not I'm saying if they both, if they have if somebody gym maxed, but they're taller, they're they have more they have a bigger wingspan.
Yeah.
So they can reach up, they can be stronger. They have much better genetic potential. So height and jaw, but there are other features that are I guess eye color. These are some things that they don't seem to have a genetic, a biological advantage, but they are seen as attractive. And I think that's probably because birds, for example, there are peacocks, different colors. That's not really a biological advantage. It's just, it just looks better. So I think humans, we have a combination of that. We like some features that are, that are just better looking, but there are actually other features that are like better in a biological sense, like that, because they can, like, you know, it shows strength and things like that.
They make you better adapted to your environment. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Dante, I wanted to speak to you about blue eyes. I read in my background reading before this, my furious background reading before this stream started late. I read a little bit around blue eyes, and I read that they're seen as the most attractive eyes. I guess initially, before I started reading, I thought that they were essentially attractive trait just because they were essentially just because they were attractive in and of themselves. But then I read that there could be some benefit to blue eyes in terms of the amount of light that gets let in. I think in primitive Northern European not societies, but I guess areas, land masses, when there was little light in winter times or something, you would need blue eyes would help let into your body, I guess, optimal levels of light. Now, if that being the case, why would people who don't have, I think I may actually know what you're going to say. I think we may have gone over this. Why would blue eyes be attractive to other people who have different color eyes if there's no need for why would it be attractive if it's a trait that's purely for letting in light? Then why would it be attractive to other people with eye colors that are different?
There doesn't have to be any rhyme or reason when it comes to attraction. You know, beauty happens, as Richard Prum puts it. So, like, if you look at basically any trait in the human body, you can say, oh, well, this has adaptative value. And so, you know, any trait that's considered, you know, sensually attractive, you could say, oh, well, more of that is better. Well, that's not necessarily true. So blue eyes, you know, are not necessarily they're not necessarily beneficial in every environment. Like in environments with high intensity sunlight, as I've read, people with blue eyes are more predisposed to macular degeneration. And so there isn't necessarily an adaptative benefit, and nor does there need to be for something to be attractive.
In fact, yeah, while I was trying to stutter out that question, the reason why I was stuttering out that question was because I actually I could predict what you were going to say. Yeah, there doesn't have to be a adaptative benefit to it. Yeah. Right. Okay. So you answered the question.
There actually, like, I mean, some women prefer like darker features. Like from what I heard, like I hear some women say, like, you know, I like dark hair, like more of like an Italian look, Spanish, like Italian type of look, like dark hair, dark beard, you know, like dark features. And there are women as well who prefer, you know, like blue eyes, green eyes, that sort of thing.
I think this goes back to Dante's what Dante mentioned about heterozygal attraction. I think you said advantage. Yeah. Northern European women, I've heard, prefer Southern European looks. That's what I've heard. Like there is at least a strong preference among a lot of Northern European women who probably have bluer eyes, more fairer skin, to be attracted to darker, more Spanish, Italian brown eyes. So yeah, there is I guess that heterozygal I've forgotten the term. Heterozygal advantage maybe what's that play there?
It could be even like a biological advantage, because like those features are also like dominant. So having like darker features, since they're more dominant, can be seen as more attractive, because even lions, like female lions, like lionesses, they prefer like, you know, darker manes. That's seen as more attractive in lines as well.
Okay, all right, Mimad T.
Sure.
Oh, go ahead, Dante.
Oh, I'm not sure if that's the same phenomenon or not. You know, I would have
Yeah.
to see further evidence before I draw that sort of conclusion.
All right,
I can send a face like a study.
Okay, right. I'm gonna put you in the lightning round. Okay, Mimad T. So thanks for your call, and we'll speak to you again soon. Who do we have next? We have, I don't know how to pronounce this. Alaviv. You're on Black Pill View. Alaviv.
Is anybody there?
Hello, he muted himself. Alaviv. This is the bit where you speak. Okay, 2 more seconds. And he's gone. Let's take Anon. Anon, you're on Black Pill View. Anon. Jeez.
Unmute yourself.
Hello, you made it. Oh my days, are you underwater?
Oh, wait. No, let me try to do something to help.
All right,
it.
we can hear you a lot clearer now.
Oh, is it better now?
Yes, yeah.
Or now?
Now.
I can hear
right.
you.
Yeah.
I hope that. Well, yeah. What's up, guys?
Life. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. I wanted to discuss primarily because I disagree with the guy who said that looks aren't genetic. I believe that looks are mostly genetic because your whole face is your genetics. I'm giving a few examples. The distance between your eyes, the width of your nose, the width of your lips, the chin prominence, the forehead. Maybe you can have a bumpy forehead. You can have a weird forehead. All of these things are just genetic. A good
Just
maxilla.
genetic.
Yeah, just
So
purely
you're
genetic.
you're saying that environment plays absolutely no role whatsoever.
Listen, if you can let me keep just
Go ahead.
keep saying what I want. I wanted to say that yes, of course, proper development, proper environment will help you ascend. It will help you ascend. It will help you develop great things like a better jaw, better maxilla growth that will enhance your look. But if you don't have the base, there's no point in having a better jaw or cheekbones if your eye distance is inbred or if your eye distance is way too far away. These things, for example, are genetics. But even with the perfect environment, you can't do stuff. You can't do anything to fix it. Yes, I mean,
Oh, for sure.
environment.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement there.
No, but if you don't have the base, just forget about it. It's over for you the second you were born.
Exactly. All right, thanks for
It's
your...
a combination of genetics. It's a combination of genetics and environment. I don't think anybody is disagreeing here.
True. I think you need at least a good base.
I would say
no matter.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me just go. I'll just say it. I would think the ratio of genetics to environment would be probably like, I don't know, I'll just throw out a number like 2 to 1 or something. It's mostly your genetics that determine the traits, or the size of the traits, the proportions of your traits, the size, the distance between them. But obviously environment can have a huge impact. And in fact, environment can be the difference between being ugly and attractive, as you've probably seen in various case studies. But yeah, like you said, there does need to be a genetic basis for you to be attractive. And then the rest is up to optimal environment.
Yeah, because my point was primarily you can achieve the best maxilla forward growth, and the best mandible width as a man. But if you have some genetic variations or mutations that affect your face in such a bad way, it's over for you. No matter if, let's say, you can have the best forward growth, you can have the best jaw angularity with jaw width, with hollow cheeks, or even duck cheeks, but some things, not some things, but just purely genetics can ruin it or just not give you a potential. You understand what I'm trying to
so
come across?
your genetics give you the ability to express certain
Your
attractives.
genetics are your foundation, essentially, I would say.
And then what if you do express what your genetics have written into them is determined by your environment.
Your genetics are your potential, essentially.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay, Anon, thanks for your call. I'm going to add you into the lightning round, okay?
All right.
Right, let's take... By the way, Renell is waiting. We'll take him at the end because after that call, I want to end myself. Let's take Beta Bucks Burger. You're on Black Pill View, and please mute the stream. And unmute yourself as well, by the way. Beta Bucks Burger. All right, let me read some super chats while I'm waiting for him to listen to the stream, which is like 30 seconds behind or more. I'm going to refresh this. I'm going to refresh the super chats. There's only one super chat. It's from Squishy Plums with $1 and no comment. Thanks for that. Back to you, Beta Bucks Burger. Okay, he's unable. He's unable to cope with the pressure.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for your call. Let's take YG. You're on Black Pill View. By the way, if you're if you're in the waiting bay ready to come on the show, if you see your account be dragged into the live stream channel, that means you're on. That means we're ready to speak to you. YG. Why do I bother? Okay, let's take Siberian Husky 1880. I guarantee it's not me doing this, guys. It's okay. Siberian, are you there?
Yeah, what's up? So Face, one thing you haven't talked about is like, how do you know if your face or height is like a bigger problem? Like, let's just say like how would you, because you always talk about each one separately, right?
How would you know if your face or height is a problem?
No, which one's a bigger problem?
A bigger? Let me take a moment to think. Well, you could break your attractiveness down first by whether your face is attractive. There is a certain threshold above which your face needs to be found attractive anyway, regardless of your height. So I guess it's a question of fine tune. Like if you had two dials and you raise one or lower one independently, and fine tune what would be where your face is in attractiveness on the 10 out of 10 scale versus whether your height is above average, such that your height is attractive in and of itself. I guess. Sorry, that was probably really confusing what I said there. I guess the only thing you could do is have your face rated by someone who is well versed in black pill or aesthetics, and then just hold on, and then just find out if your height is attractive too. I guess that's it. I don't think there's a magical way of doing it. Just like if your face is like a 5, if your height is 5'7", then you're probably not going to do too well. So I guess it's just a matter of having a rating. So where is your face on the 10 out of 10 scale?
I've been rated. My face looks different before, but my face I've been rated like a 6 out of 10 by Waffles. Some rated me 6.5, 6. I used to be worse, and then my height's 5'8". So, but I'm not getting anything.
Have you been rated by women?
if you post your face to women, they're just gonna say you're 9 out of 10 or
Yeah,
1 out of 10. So there's not really a point. But Waffles, he rated me a 6. So
I would argue that they're the only rating that you could take from a woman to be valid is if she sleeps with you. That's the kind of
well, for sure, but also like, what if the rating is anonymous? Like, if she knows you personally, of course she's going to kiss up to you. But like, if it's an anonymous rating, then I would expect she's going to be, more honest.
She will be more inclined to be more honest. But let me just respond to Dante. She would be more inclined to be honest. But I read a study that women feel the need to give favorable responses, even in anonymity. There's just like a agreeableness to women that they want not to upset or cause conflict, such that you can't really trust their opinions, only their behavior, I guess. So like, if she sleeps with you, then that would indicate she finds you attractive, or how she treats you, like if she's affectionate to you. But as for like a rating from a woman, I think we can't really ascertain too much from a woman. Okay, back to you. Back to you. Sabiran.
So bro, I know I don't want to go into this too much, but I know guys that are like 5'4" or 5'5", legit 5'4", 5'5", that I've been friends with since I was like 9 years old, that have had girlfriends. But I mean, again, they're good looking. So I know you're pretty big on height, but saying like a strong 6 out of 10 to a weak 6.5 in looks, and then 5'8", what would be a bigger problem?
Sorry, say that again. I was focusing on something else.
Like for if your face is like a 6 out of 10, or a weak 6.5, and you're 1 inch, because where I live, like average height is like 5'9", because I live in the States, but I live in the shorter part of the States, so like 5'9". So where would you say what's a bigger issue? Is like both equally bad, or?
It depends on age as well, because from what I've seen, women, or I guess young girls at that age, would place slightly more emphasis on facial attractiveness than height, because I don't think strong indicators of sensual dimorphism are like top of women's list. Like, for instance, young girls are into like Justin Bieber back in the day, and the baby-faced that look, and the attractiveness there is driven by physical attractiveness rather than sensual dimorphism. So I think it depends on the height, the age of the people you're discussing as well.
Justin Bieber's 5'7.5". So like he's, I don't know, his face is like, I don't know, like an 8 or something, but his height, he's shorter than me. So versus like Chris Hemsworth, he's 6'3". So I guess you're right about like the age determining like different things. But in that case, you always talk about how if a guy's below a 5, then that's where there's problems. But do you agree that there's some people like me that are still having a problem at I guess above average? I'm not like a child light, but like a little bit above average. You'd say there's still people having problems, right?
I'm gonna say this really honestly. From what I've seen of your recent pictures after your surgery, there was a slight uncanniness to your face. Maybe it was because of the swelling hadn't gone down, but there was a slight uncanniness to your jaw that, I don't know if it's because I've looked at too many surgery results, but it looked artificial in a way that I don't know how it would be perceived by the average normie. So maybe that's
by
part of
swelling or bone.
Sorry?
Do you mean like there's too much projection or swelling or what?
This is just going straight. This is strictly from memory, from what the picture you posted me. Given the jaw that you presented, I would have expected more of a ramus. So it just seems
but the like
disproportionate.
Affects your ramus though. Sorry.
It just seemed disproportionate.
Affect your ramus.
Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, I spoke over
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Sorry. Are you hearing me right now, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna shut up. You speak.
Sorry. My mic was just cutting out. Bimax doesn't affect your ramus. Your ramus is affected by mandibular angle implants, like you know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a different surgery. So if like let's just say someone has like a 1 out of 10 ramus and a 1 out of 10 jaw projection, right?
Hmm.
If they have the projection fixed, they still have to have a different like procedure to fix the ramus. It's like if someone's like
Oh yeah, I get you.
I don't know. If someone has
Sorry,
like
Sal.
no arms and no legs and they have
Yeah.
leg lengthening for their legs, they still need like arm lengthening for the arms.
Yeah.
But yeah, so keep going on. My bad. I wasn't trying to interrupt.
I think that we've run out of steam on that call. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I was gonna say if for the guys here that like they're not getting like anything, don't pay for like dating coaches. Like a lot of them are just
no
trying to
one
make
pays for
money.
that crap. Like I think we're above that level of blue pill here.
You'd be surprised. I've seen people that, just if you can't get anything, just focus on hobbies and try to make friends and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Siberian Husky. I'm going to drag you into the lightning round. Okay, so we'll speak to you in a few moments. Let's see if there's anyone else who wants to come on. I'm going to add this guy, Peen Monkey. There's Bat Caps. I'm going to add to the server. There is, who else is there? Aniket. Right, I think we'll take these and then we'll see where we end up. And we're gonna close out soon. So let's take these guys. I've just added these guys to the server. While we wait for them, let's see if we can have a second time round with YG. YG, unmute yourself. And yep, you've got that part right. Now speak. Is there something I'm not doing right? Nope, he's there. YG, TikTok. Oh gosh, don't make us have to take a call from Ranel to fill the gap. All right, let's take a Peen Monkey. Peen Monkey, click on Waiting Bay. Okay, we're waiting for Peen Monkey to click on Waiting Bay. While he's figuring out how to do that, let's go to these super chats to see if there's any more. Oh, we have a few. I'll go to here so you can see them. Let's look at, oh, there's chat again. Where is it? AC from KC, $10, 10 US dollars. Thanks for your donation. No comment. And Emrios for $3 US said, land whales rate me unaesthetically primitive. Okay. All right. And now we've got Peen Monkey. You're on Black Pill View. And look, you're on Black Pill View. You're there. He jumped out. All right. Oh, all right. We're going to have to do this then. Let's take Ranel. This is going to be quick. I swear to you, this is not me doing this. But I'm going to be fair to these guys. I'm nervous before I get on Faces Rich Cell now. Every time before I start the stream, I'm a bag of nerves. I'm like, what? Have I prepared enough? Am I going to sound like a moron? Inevitably, I do. So I have to give, and I've done this so much, so I have to give you guys a lot of credit for, this is your first time on the show sometimes, some of you. But having said that, it would be good if you at least spoke. Like, just say the first word. YG, can't hear the people on stream. So that's an issue with him. All right, so let's see. Beta Box Burger.
Hello.
Oh, Renell. Okay, we're gonna have to speak to Renell. Okay, Renell, you're on Black Pill View.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn you up
I
because
don't know why you
you're
don't like
outside
me.
your room.
What? Me?
Yeah. Which like, are you in the same building as your computer?
Wait, I sound far away from my a mic.
Yeah.
Oh. I'll try to fix it on Discord. Hold up.
Just go ahead because I've raised your volume.
All right, cool. So, like, I don't know why you don't like me, Face. I actually agree with you on everything. I just want you to get the black pill more right. You already talk about, you get like the evolutionary psychology thing wrong a lot. You said
Okay,
like,
what today have we gotten wrong?
so you said earlier you said that they select traits for no reason. Every
No,
trait
not
has a
for no
reason.
reason. No. Let's be correct. Not for no reason, because they're attractive.
Not for no reason.
Okay.
But like there's like a biological advantage. You say that traits don't really have an advantage. Like for example,
Adaptive advantage. You mean?
Yeah. But it's like a lot of the things that you'll talk about, the advantage isn't really obvious. Like you have to really think about it. So for example, the reason why a broader jaw would be more advantage is because it's better able to take a punch or brute force. So if you're in a fight with another male, you're able to take a punch better because your jaw is a little bit bigger.
I would say that's way down the list.
Necessarily why it's sexually
I would say
selective.
I would say that's way down the list. More higher up on the list would be that the fact that it indicates optimal growth, and we've seen it because we've seen we have seen children with bad growth, and then they correct it, and then their jaw becomes more wide. So a wide jaw indicates optimal growth.
No, what is that? What do you mean by optimal growth?
Like grown to the best of the environment's what the environment allows.
No. There's overgrowth, so you can't have your jaw be too big. So it's not about just being big; it's about being a good size. So your statement about it being big or optimal growth isn't that good. It's not about being the biggest.
Like the peacock. The peacock's tail is too big because of sexual selection.
The peacock's tail is good. No. So that example of the peacock's tail, the reason why it's so big is because it actually shows actually a reason behind it. Because if something's big, right, and it still has a whole bunch of symmetry, that's actually a signal of good genes. So if something is big and it's still symmetrical, because when you're bigger,
yeah, and it's also a beacon for predators.
No.
And it's also an encumbrance, so you can be eaten by predators much more easily.
And that's also a better thing too. So when the peacocks are mating, right, they're more likely to be eaten than the female is. So it's actually gives the female advantage. Like if they're mating.
I completely agree, but can you prove that that's why it fixated in the first place? Or is it possible because, it was a positive feedback loop because it's sexually selected for, that over the course of generations, it became so big that, of course, it's going to be encumbering, of course, it's going to be disadvantageous, and of course, predators are going to select you over a female because the predators are going to see, yes, you have this big, beautiful tail. That doesn't mean that's why it was selected for.
And also, the peacock's tail also look like eyes. So it looks like eyes. So you know how like
I agree with that.
Yes,
I agree with that. But I feel like that's more of a compensation.
Eyes are very scary. In nature, eyes are very scary.
I agree. I agree.
So not also that it also not only is it big, which shows symmetry, because if you're big, you're more likely to be asymmetrical because there's so much of you. There's more places where you could be asymmetrical. So not only does it show that you're healthy, it also scares away predators because it looks like eyes.
But you're not healthy because you're encumbered.
Hold on. And the bigger you, and actually it actually scares away more predators because the bigger you are, the.
So in other words, it's not advantageous.
No, it's more.
So in other words, because you're saying that predators would prefer females over the males.
Huh? Yeah, because most females are weak.
Okay, so do the predators prefer the males or do they prefer the females?
They prefer the females because, like for example, height, right?
I doubt that.
Although height people,
I think that eye spots. I think they are repulsive towards predators, but I feel that's more like a compensation, as opposed to
for example, you know that taller people are not stronger than shorter people? They have the same amount of muscle, but taller people look more intimidating, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So just because so it's bigger means you look stronger in nature. So I feel like that also helps them because they look bigger just in general. So there's always a reason behind something. There's nothing that
Yeah,
has
they're
no
also
reason.
more encumbered. So, I mean, yeah, I agree. There's always a reason, but is that reason adaptative to a given environment?
Yeah, because as I said, if you're bigger, then like for example, taller people, right, in our human race, they're not stronger than shorter people. They have the same amount of muscle that shorter people have, but it just looks advantageous, so more people are afraid of it. For example, you might be afraid. Like a lot of people have the stigma that tall people are scary, but they could lift just as much as a short person. So that's what I'm trying to say. Just being bigger makes you look stronger. So a peacock having a bigger tail just makes it look stronger. So less predators might come after it because it's so
Oh
big.
crap! I mean,
You
I
don't
mean,
you don't
maybe,
agree that tall people look stronger just in general?
maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Sure. I
saying.
mean, but like
So if
when
you
it
get
comes to
tall, if you get
peacocks, I mean,
tall,
the
if
peacock
you
is
get tall,
clearly inhibited by having it's
it,
encumbered by having a big
no,
tail.
it looks bigger.
So
So it looks bigger. So it pushes away predators just by that fear. Like for example, so we could argue that taller people are inhibited by their height because since they have the same amount of muscle that a short person has, that means that they're inhibited because they can
sure.
since they move slower. So like that's my point. Height makes you just look bigger, so a lot of predators won't want to mess with you.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying, or is it hard?
So, like, when it comes to peacocks, do you think that, going back to the evolutionary past, when males and females looked a lot more similar to another, do you think that females attracted towards males because they said, "Oh, that male with that green tinge, oh, I bet that would be very attractive towards predators, and predators would prefer that," or "Oh, it looks really big, and so predators would not prefer that," or
No,
would they
I don't.
say,
I
"Oh, it's
don't
just
think the
attractive because it's attractive,"
I don't think the female
and
chose it.
what was that?
I don't think the female chose it.
Yo,
I don't
hello?
I
think
think
I don't.
I think given traits are attractive because they're attractive,
No,
and
no,
I think
no,
that
no.
those can
Hold on.
absolutely be associated with certain traits that are more adaptive to the environment, but I don't think that it has to be.
All right. So, for
So
example,
if you're going to prove that a trait is also adaptive, then the burden of proof is on you.
I just
But the
gave
thing
you.
is,
I
that's
just
kind
gave
of
you an
an
example
well.
of
Here's the thing.
being
Here's the thing,
taller than
buddy, because it's a
you. Agree,
non-falsifiable hypothesis.
you agree that
Because
being broader makes you look
any
stronger, right?
trait in the human body you can look at, you can say, oh well, more of that would be beneficial because this trait has this benefit.
Yeah.
So if it's
No, 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 no,
non-falsifiable, then
no,
that's
no, no, no,
scientifically
not every,
problematic.
Hello?
no. You have no. There's a trait that you could say you could just look at and be like, yeah, that's there's nothing that this trait would have that would be beneficial. Like for example, if it's just like a random red dot on our faces, like if we just had a random red dot on our faces, that would be just random. Then you could start arguing. But as I said before, a tail being really big, that's advantageous. So you could actually
Potentially.
you could actually just point at things that you could say, oh, this has no evolutionary benefit. Like if it's just a random red dot, there's no random red dots on our faces. So like
So you would
there's
have to
actually
actually go out and make that measurement to prove that it's evolutionarily advantageous.
I just
And
gave you the
then you would
measurement.
have to take a step further and prove that that is the why it was sexually selected and
No,
not just a byproduct of sexual selection.
no, I'm saying that I already gave you so first of all I explained it. So I don't have to all right, let me explain something. You don't always have to do a scientific experiment to prove something. You just use math. So I'm
Sure.
using math here for you. So we're doing complex math, but this is math here for you. If you look bigger, in general, you're gonna scare off predators just by looking bigger. You're gonna look more intimidating. Intimidation helps
Sure.
you survive because you look bigger. So predators won't want to mess with you if you look bigger. So
Sure.
if I just look bigger, it doesn't matter if I'm stronger or not. I could have less muscle than you, but since I look bigger than you, predators will think twice about attacking me. Doesn't matter if my bones are made out of feather or anything. Predators might think
Okay,
like,
so
I don't know
reductio
how
ad
to mess with
absurdum.
this.
Reductio ad absurdum. Why don't females also look bigger because they would carry that same advantage?
See, as I said before, most most females.
Because if both sexes carry that benefit, then it wouldn't be dimorphic.
Hold on.
Both sexes would want to evolve in that direction.
No. For example, men are taller than women, but you don't see women. Men are taller than women, so there's a reason for that. It's because
for sure.
Well, it's also, think about it, in nature, right? It's dangerous to come up to anybody in nature. So for men to get more confidence to approach a woman, it'd be better if they were bigger. So if they feel like, if this female attack me, because there's no language in nature. You just walking up to random people and like mating with them. Imagine that. You just walk up to a random person, you don't know their name, and you just mate with them. So that's a dangerous activity. Mating is very dangerous. So it's always better for the male to look more intimidating. Because if the female ever wants to like reject him or attack him.
Okay, so why would a female peacock not also benefit from that same thing? Why would they not also benefit from having a big tail and looking intimidating to predators?
Because the males would be more afraid to go mate with the females.
Why would they?
Because
that seems kind of ridiculous.
Because mating is you might think mating is pretty simple. You just get to know the
So
girl,
why is a male elephant not scared of mating with a female elephant because they're so big?
Because most males are bigger than females. So they're not scared of them.
Okay.
It's supposed to make you not scared of them, because mating is a very dangerous activity, because you're walking up to a random stranger and trying to mate with them. That's very dangerous because you don't know their name. You can't speak to them because you're an animal. You might think of it like in today's time, it's not dangerous because you could get to know somebody. But like imagine like right now, you could just went up to random females and just start kissing them. You could get punched in the face like that. That's how it is in nature too. You get hurt. So it's better to be bigger as a male, because if you just walk up to if you walk up to a female the same size as you, it's very dangerous. It's dangerous. Do you get what I'm saying, or is it hard for you to understand?
Dante, I'll let you finish this response before we move on. Dante?
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why. Wouldn't females also want to be bigger to be able to compensate for that threat also?
Yeah, but I'm saying that if so, then the law of mating wouldn't happen because most men approach women. So females are hardwired to be more smaller and to want bigger men.
Or because that is intra-sexual selection, because males are competing with one another, and so you have to beat down other males, I should say.
What that could also be part of it, but I'm saying the main reason behind. So there's multiple reasons, right? I agree with you. There's multiple reasons, right? But there's always going to be a main reason or big driving factor behind the trait. So there's multiple reasons. There's not just one reason. But I'm saying that there's always going to be one reason that's the biggest. I'm saying that's the biggest reason. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's complex. It's not simple as just like, oh, this reason and that's it. Now there's multiple reasons, but
sure.
Yeah. So the main reason is because it's a very dangerous activity. Like you wouldn't go up to random females and just start kissing them, right? Because they could hurt you. But if you were to but imagine if you were to just go up to random midgets and kiss them, you wouldn't feel no threat. You just do it because you just like, if I kiss a midget, they can't hurt me because I'm way taller than a midget. They're probably gonna hit my leg or something. That's exactly how it is in nature.
Okay.
I agree with that. So essentially, you're saying that males evolve to be able to force themselves upon females, which I agree with, and that this definitely occurs in polygamous species.
Yeah. So that's why the female peacock isn't.
That is a reason. That is a reason why.
But I'm saying that's the main reason.
That can be the main reason in some species, like gorillas, for example, where you don't see a lot of ornamentation on gorillas. You just have a big, strong male, and you don't, the females, they don't have a whole lot of mate choice. So I think that's, that is a reason for sure. But I'm not going to say that that's the main reason.
Even the reason in our species too, because you wouldn't do, because you're scared of, like, imagine going up and kiss like a 6'5" bodybuilder girl. You wouldn't do it, right? But you would do it to a midget, right? Because you, like, if you were to pick between them, you'd do it, right?
I mean, for sure, but like,
exactly, that's my point.
I guess it pertains to, are humans naturally monogamous or polygamous?
If that plays a role, if that plays such a big role in your choosing of your mate behavior, then that explains the whole height thing right there. And especially considering the fact that at least now
But
we
the
have
thing is, that
language.
would create a
At
feedback
least,
loop in which females would also want to grow to be bigger.
yeah, but if men are approaching the most, then it doesn't matter because men have more of a higher sex drive, so men approach more. So it doesn't matter what the female thinks at that point, because if a female doesn't really approach, then that type of psychology won't get passed down.
Dante, let me just
I'm sorry, you're kind of breaking up. I can't really hear you.
Dante, let me just
that type of
interrupt.
psychology-
Dante, I haven't researched this, so I don't want to speak out of turn. Doesn't testosterone increase male height? Therefore, women, there's no mechanism for women to outgrow men's height and become more taller and bigger because their hormones have limited them. So women are always going to be shorter than men.
Yeah. We were just talking about the reason why our biology is that way.
I'm sorry, I can barely hear anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm breaking up on my end.
We agree with you, Face. We're just talking about the reason why it's that way. We're just talking about the evolutionary reason why our biological reason is structured in such a form.
Okay, isn't it? Let me just think off the top of my head. Isn't it because in nature, women are more selective in their mate choices, so men have to be bigger in order to essentially snuggle the woman, right?
Well, I agree with you on some of that, but I'm saying the main reason why men choose. I'm saying because men are the most selectors, right?
No.
No. We choose to go after certain females, right? Like
men choose a broad range. Men have a wide range of what they find attractive, and then it's up to the woman to say yes or no. So it's the woman sitting on her throne saying yes or no, and it's men who cast their net wide. So I disagree with you there.
No, men are willing to settle more because they're more unattractive.
No, men have a higher snuggle drive, so we find women attractive starting from a lower threshold. So yeah, I don't think I agree with you there. I don't think that point was correct.
So what I'm saying is that men, all right, so I agree with you. So I was talking about it from the man's perspective, right? I was talking about it from the man's perspective, like about what we find attractive. But but now you're talking about the female. So all right, let me explain the female. So
okay, in closing, because this has been long.
All right, so for the female, right?
Yeah.
Being bigger makes you survive better because most predators won't attack you. So you could take more blunt force better, and you could take like hits better. So that's why females like it. But I was saying to your friend earlier that males like smaller females is because we approach women more because of our higher sex drive. So we want smaller females so that when we mate with them, they don't attack us. So for example, you'd rather approach a midget and kiss them on the cheek rather than approach a 6'5" girl and kiss them on the cheek, because you never know if that 6'5" girl might get mad and punch you.
Okay, I think I get your point now. Right, I'm gonna move on right now because your mic is it's like you're calling us from a shoe, and I don't know how many people could hear you clearly. So I'm gonna drag you into the lightning round, okay, Renell? So that's our yearly dose of Renell. Let me see if Dante can come back. While we're at it, let's do this in order. Let's try Peen Monkey one more time. Peen Monkey, nope. Thanks for your call. Let's take YG one more time. Thanks for your call. Let's take Toff Baifong.
Hello. I hope I'm not a mic cell. I hope
that is loud and clear. That is loud and clear.
Perfect. Second life goal achieved. Not being a mic cell. Thanks for being online here. To the argument before where we talked about the peacocks, there is an even better example for sensual selection going backwards. I'm not sure if anybody of you heard about the Irish elk. It's an extinct species from Ireland. Their horns were like an indicator of their fertility, and over time they grew so big that they reached like a diameter of like almost 2 meters, and they became such a huge issue that they couldn't walk properly anymore. They got basically spotted by predators way easier, and that led to their downfall. So
I'll let Dante speak to this. What would you attribute the genetics allowing this allowing that trait to be selected for overmuch, to the extent to which it becomes a detriment? Why would I guess my question is, why would that happen? But I guess there's no reason why it can't happen. There's no biological reason why it couldn't happen. I mean, nature, the idea of nature that we seem to osmose from blue pillars is that nature has to be harmonious, and it has to result in wholesomeness and more offspring. Nature should go in that direction, but it's not inherently the goal of or it's not inherently the situation that nature would be correct all the time. Nature might like, for instance, people born with deformities, nature can go awry. So I think that might be the reason why the antlers on that animal grew to such a size. I'm just trying to answer what I think Dante may have said if he were around, that although we expect nature to favor what's optimal, there is a case where nature will just go awry, and deformities may occur, or things that we don't view as wholesome or adaptive may happen anyway. I don't know. That's just my supposition. Why? Do you have like a clue as to why that may have happened? Do you think I'm in the right ballpark? Tough. And suddenly Tough can't speak.
Yeah. I can't speak. I think maybe the like in today's society, like, of course women go for height and for attractiveness, but like the goal would be that your offspring has the best chances of survival. So our brains, or basically, let's say our brains didn't develop fast enough with today's times. Like in today's, the best predictor for your child to have a great future is intelligence, because
yes.
Intelligence is the best factor to predict your success in life, with more money and everything. Being attractive and tall doesn't do anything for you if you cannot have if you don't have a profession that generates money.
But I guess we're working from.
We could see a change.
Oh, okay. You go ahead.
We could see a change we could see a change like in, let's say,
thousands of years.
Still
thousands of years. That will take
that women
so much
suddenly
evolution.
go for intelligence.
But as things stand now, it's undeniable, and people on INCEL tiers and normal blue pillars will deny that certain traits are just more physically attractive than others, and certain traits women will select against. And they have this idea that there's bound to be some woman out there who would find your 5'4" height attractive, or your receded chin attractive.
That's bullshit.
There isn't any guarantee. There is no guarantee, or there's no biological reason why a woman should find a trait attractive just because someone has it. A trait that is the result of maybe inoptimal growth or whatever deformity. There's there's no guarantee or there's no reason why a woman should find that attractive. So the whole myth that someone out there will find your unattractive traits attractive, I mean, there is, I guess, culturally,
it could be the case, but then the person is normal, because it's not. It wouldn't be good in evolutionary on the evolutionary side if she likes it. Let's say a girl likes smaller men, that is kind of bad.
Yeah, that indicates like a I guess the term would be like maladaptive attraction. If she's attracted to a 5'4" guy that the majority of women don't find attractive, that speaks more to women. That speaks more to a woman having an attraction that's like not, what's the word I'm looking for? An attraction that's outside of the norm, or that's maladaptive, rather than just every trait is attractive to someone somewhere in the world. It's a woman being attracted to a short man, a very short man, or a very ugly man, let's say a 2 out of 10 man or a 1 out of 10 man. That is more of an indication of the woman's maladaptive attraction than it is a display of the variance that women find attractive, the variance of traits that women find attractive. It speaks to more of an attraction to a deformity than women's broad attractive switches. I think that's my point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would fully agree.
Anything you want to leave us on? A fetish. There's actually a term for that. They're I would have said that. Fetish.
That they fetishize small men.
Yeah.
I want to get you maybe think about something. I'm not sure if I heard it from you, but I don't know if you heard about it, that during their monthly cycle, women choose different men.
Oh yes.
So when they are highly fertile, they want the chat, basically.
Yeah.
They want the genes. And when they're not fertile and they cannot get children, they think more about the beta bucks to get the money and to provide for the children.
I've heard that. That makes sense. I think that ties again into women's dual mating strategy. That I think I don't want to speak out of turn. I'll let you fill in why that's the case.
I would suggest that women know, like, maybe they lost that feeling, but there are definitely some signs that where a woman can tell if she's fertile or not. And maybe back in the days, she got together with the Chad, who had multiple women, but didn't bother to pay for her children or do anything for her. And during the time she was not fertile, where she knew she could not get children or pregnant, she did something with the provider. He got something from her, and she gets the money from him. Alpha,
you know what, but beta bucks, as someone in the comments said, as IA said.
Yeah,
okay,
basically, yeah.
Top. Sorry, thanks for your call. I'm going to drag you into the lightning round, okay? Let's take some callers. Hold on a second, I'm having an interruption. All right, let's take Knorks. Knorks, you're on Black Pill View. And we're going to be going soon as well. I said to Dante that we're going to keep this to 2 hours. I don't know if Dante has a mic issue. Knorks, you're on Black Pill View. What is it with these callers today? Are they're listening to the stream or what? I say he muted himself. Let's take Infomeister. You're on Black Pill View. All right, and then lastly, Batcaps. You're on Black Pill View. All right, I'm going to drag 2 in at once. Let's see if any one of these are able to respond. Right, I've dragged a few people into the live stream channel, so I'm just waiting for actual FBI came, someone said. It's possible these people got raided at the same time. And Dante's back. Let's welcome Dante back. Well, YG, I don't know what's happening with your connection. Dante, you're muted. Can you speak? And Dante cannot speak. I'm guessing he's speaking, but no one can hear him. I don't think the YouTube chat can hear him. Right. If that's the case, then this may be the end of the show. All right. So everyone's connection just died. Everyone's connection just died. That is insane. Everyone's Discord is just erroring. There's no way back. I'm going to drag everyone in all at once.
Hello.
All right, Dante said he's going to reboot. Let's give him some time. All right, who just spoke there?
Me, Backcaps.
Backcaps. Okay, you're on Black Pill View. You're the only one on Black Pill View except me.
How's it going?
It was going okay until the Discord situation happened.
Good. No, first I just want to say that I'm a huge fan of your channel. I've been watching your channel for like almost 3 years now.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Why would you watch this?
Well, the thing is that I was really blue pill, but I send you a picture of myself. If you want to rate me real quick,
okay, if you do that in DMs.
It was on 3804.
Okay, so while you're doing that, can you multitask? Can you talk about what you wanted to talk about at the same time? So there's just not dead air.
Yeah. So I mean, first of all, I do agree with everything. The Black Pill, it's always right. I did talk to the Black Pill to my family because they just won't understand. But I know that's a huge mistake because they will never understand ever. You know, they're always blue pilled about, oh, you just have to do this and this, but I've look smacks. Have you ever heard of bone smashing?
I've heard of that, yeah.
It's legit, trust me. It's legit.
So
I used to have no
just to summarize, it's smashing bones in your face to make them grow bigger or more prominent.
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right.
Correct. And I can send you a progress picture, and trust me, it's real. I used to have no chin to where I can just take my mask off completely and not feel subhuman.
Damn.
It took a few months. Yeah, it took I started in January, but now I'm satisfied. I'm just want to keep going though, but trust me, it's definitely legit.
So have you measured the growth?
No, but I've taken side pictures, and there's a huge difference to it.
Okay, how much of that may be swelling?
I don't know. Right now, I mean, it's still pretty good right now. It's definitely almost protruding, how do I say it? So my bottom lip, it's not big, but it's not like, thin. My chin is almost in line with my bottom lip.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's definitely huge progress. And I did send you a picture of myself if you want to just rate me real quick.
All right, let me do this real quick. This is looking in my DMs for bat caps. You didn't send it to me. Uh-oh, I don't know who you sent it to. It's not me. Oh, that's it. Okay, there it is. Damn, you look tall. You look like...
I'm only 5'9".
Really? What? Oh, is this in a mirror? Is this is in a mirror? Oh, okay, sorry, I thought that was a doorway. Okay, all right. Yeah, sorry, I thought the white space above was a ceiling. Okay, this is a picture of you in a mirror.
Trust me, it's a mirror.
Okay, all right. from this, I'm fully acknowledging that the audience cannot see this picture, so this is kind of boring to them. But from this blurry, distant picture, you look about average. But then again, I guess there is the what's the word I'm looking for that I don't want to say, the RACE component to your attractiveness. Are you Latin American?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so but Latinos do quite well, you know. I saw a chart recently, I think it was about 2 hours ago, where women's preference was, I think it was, in fact, let me just look for this chart quickly. It was, and I'm going to look for it as quickly as I can. Yeah, here it is. I found it. All word, you know, the word I'm looking for. Color choices of women who have a color preference in considering a man of a different color. So women's acceptance, they rated white men 58%, Latinos 31%, blacks 13%, ironic 13%, 8% for Asians, 6% Middle Eastern, and 5% East Indian. I don't know why they say East Indian. It should be South Asian, but okay. So the point I'm making, Latinos, sorry to slurping on the mic, Latinos came out second above blacks among women's preferences. So you can ascend.
Is there anything I need to do that I need to work on, you think?
I think I need a clearer picture. You're wearing a hoodie, so there's like a whole dynamic I'm not seeing, and plus it's a blurry picture from a distance. If you sent like a picture, front on picture and a side on picture, that would help in the rating.
Okay. But like, it's not like fully over, or?
No, I would not say that. Given your face being fairly average and Latino plus above average Latino height, I think there is strong hope for you.
Okay, because what I didn't know is that my jaw isn't like super round, you know, like most guys are. Not to like talk crap or anything.
No, your jaw's quite decent from what I can see. Your jaw's quite angular, but then again, I don't know how much of that is. I don't know if I'm seeing it accurately from this cloudy picture.
Okay.
Anything you want to leave us on?
I think that's it. You know, I just want to say I really appreciate your content, Face, because it's really helped me out a lot. Not to waste my time and stupid stuff, you know.
Thank you. Thanks, Backcaps. I'm going to leave you. I'm going to put you in the lightning round, and we'll come to you after, if you're still around. Okay, let's do this real quick. Let's take Count Woodlands. You're on Black Pill View. And he's probably listening to the stream. Okay, so we're having an issue with some people, but the fact that some people can hear indicates that the problem is local. It's your fault, you guys. It's not me. Okay, let's take Vapor. I'm going to drag Vapor and Infomeister, and we'll kind of find out who replies first. If not,
hail the BP.
Hey, Vapor, you're on Black Pill View.
That's what's up.
All right.
Long time lurker. I love this shit. It's the truth. It's the reality. I live it every day. I work in a grocery store, so I see all kinds of people. You know, some looks matched, some not looks matched. Hey, why are they together? And then, you know, through watching your videos, it kind of like, I already knew it. It just like, it was like, oh, he said it. He put it in words for me.
What did you believe before? Because I guess there is this belief that you go from the blue pill to the red pill to the black pill. Was that your transition, or did you notice this?
Yeah, I knew about the red pill. My friend put me on that. He was like, dude, go look at this Reddit subpage. You just got to talk to them a certain way. You got to be a man. You got to talk to them like a man. I'm like, oh, that's what it is. I'm a bitch. I don't talk to him like a man. That's got to be it. And then, yeah, you don't really get anywhere. But then I just saw your video, bro, and I was just like, it just blew my mind. And everybody I show that shit to, like my friends, they're idiots. They just blow it off. They don't get it.
When they blow it off, is there any solid basis for their discrediting it, or is it just I don't like it, I don't believe it, I don't think it's right? That's what
They
it
don't
seems
like
to
it.
be.
They're like, bro, you're focusing too much on looks. Dude,
That's what it
that's
seems
not
to
what
be.
it is, dude.
Yeah, that's
Come
what.
on.
That's the strong. Well,
No, but that is what it is. That
Yeah.
is what it is. Like, pay attention.
that's the overarching antagonistic feedback to the black pill. It's I don't like it. I don't like what you're saying. It's harmful to women. It's a hateful ideology. It's a toxic ideology. But it's rooted where our ideology is being informed by I could hear some neighbors going on. What's going on?
Say it again.
Right, I could hear something going on. Hold on. Yeah, but our ideology is being informed by human mating strategies and human evolutionary psychology.
Yeah, I mean the way you just got to play the game. So the looks maxing shit is legit. I'm trying to get on that. My only problem is I have impacted wisdom teeth, but I'm not really in pain. I don't know if I want to take those out and then the jawline goes adios amigo.
I think in my case, I've had 6 teeth extracted. With my teeth, there was such a level of bidental protrusion, which means my teeth are pointing outwards, that extractions wouldn't cause as much of I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Growing in of the bone as maybe a normal person. So I can afford to lose some forward growth in my teeth because they're overly projected. So it wasn't a problem for me, but I can see that where other people would have that problem. So yeah, I wouldn't advise it for anyone unless you had my bidental protrusion.
Well, yeah, I saw that mewing guy. He's like, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And then you start watching his videos and he starts pointing to these tribes that they do it naturally. And they got Chad smiles. Like, they're perfect. 10 out of 10. And it all starts making sense. Like, oh, we got our nutrition got to shit. We started chewing less. And England was one of those first countries. And they're like, that's like their joke. Everybody knows them for like poor dental.
Right. Yeah, thanks for your call, Vapor. Don't be a stranger. Call again. I'm going to drag you into the lightning round, okay?
All right.
Let's take Count Woodlands. You're on Black Pill View.
Evening.
Hey, I'm going to turn you up because you're quiet. Hello?
Hello, I hear you.
Okay, what do you have to say?
Yeah, first, it's an honor to be here, a privilege. Thank you very much.
But, I'm joking. No, what do you have to say?
I think one problem that it actually falls short in your videos is that women are not so much interested in dating in general. I mean, you go out, you rarely see couples. I see chats alone, and women want to be among themselves, actually.
I think
interest in surveying more and more every year.
I think that I'm going to shut my window because I can hear, because our houses are really close together in the UK, and I can hear my neighbor. So I'm going to shut my window.
Yeah, your
Right.
castle. Your house is the castle.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. All right. I was going to say something. Yeah. I think what may be driving women's reluctance to date as much as they used to is because they get bombarded with dating offers from young, and this is like a recent phenomenon with the advent of Tinder and TikTok. They do a lot of their dating which would have traditionally it would have been spread throughout their like 20s and 30s maybe. They're doing it in their teens now, so they come to a point where even dating these chads that they're able to get, or high tier normies, becomes or can become boring to them. It can become like, oh, just another chad, another relationship that will last a few months, and then he'll cheat or he'll lose interest, or so it makes sense, I guess, that you're seeing a lot of women becoming voluntary celibate, and at the same time you're seeing men becoming involuntary celibate. It makes sense. The dating gets boring to them after a while. I mean, you've dated 6 guys in a couple of months. Yeah.
From early age, over saturation begins at an early age. So they begin dating with, I don't know, 13, maybe 14, and when they're like 18, so they aren't interested in men no longer. So they go traveling and they, go for the dogs actually, and just are interested in animals. If you look at the Instagram profiles of these young women, you don't see them with men so often. You see them, traveling, making photos of landscapes and horses, and they don't even want to be seen with chats. Like, their value comes from like independence, from their indifference. They actually don't want to.
Sometimes I think
They
that
don't
can
care
help.
about the value of what they get from man. They actually get their value nowadays from being this indifferent and free woman who does not need the man. Does that make sense?
Definitely help you.
Beta Bucksberger, I'll let you reply to that.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Yo. Hi.
I'm gonna get you two to speak to each other just so we can get through the show quickly. So Count, make a point, and then Beta Bucksberger, you can reply.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Nowadays,
Count. Your point was Go ahead, Count.
Yeah, you're competing with dogs and with horses. Good luck with that. Actually.
Beta Bucksberger.
Well, I'll just say that the competition's always going to be stiff out there. You just got to do your best and whatnot. One thing I want to throw out there, just to contribute to the manuscript a little bit, is that, we talk about surgery maxing. We talk about trying to make ourselves look better. One of the biggest things you can do is your smile. And in America, to get your teeth fixed up, it's going to cost a lot of money. A lot of freaking money. For those of you in the Southwest, or, from basically Texas, going over to the West Coast, you can go down to Mexico, and they can really hook you up for probably about a fifth of the price, or maybe a quarter. And that's one thing that can help some guys, just having a winning smile or a good grill, that helps. One other thing I want to throw out there is, for those guys out there who are maybe losing their hair, or they're kind of having a receding hairline, whatever it may be, it's not for everybody, but it's definitely something you want to consider. Is SMP.
Yes.
You're going to be wearing your hair short anyway, especially if you have maybe an olive skin to you, or you're just a little bit darker skinned individual. It can really help. It can really help. And it can help you get your hairline back, and there's a lot of things that can happen with that.
I think we need to just stress that SMP means scalp micropigmentation, and it's essentially a hair tattoo, or a tattoo that mimics hair density, such that you can I guess, pass yourself off as having a shaven head rather than being bald, fully bald.
Being bald is a curse. Any guy with a shaved head, I mean, that's the new comb over for 2021. I mean, this is, we're talking some hardcore stuff, man. But the truth is this, for guys out there, I know that got SMP, it's one of those things. When you have something that looks like a hairline and it's there, believe me, girls notice this because they look at you. If they see a cue ball, they're like, yeah, that's Gramps. I ain't trying to get up on Gramps. Ain't gonna happen unless you got a lot of money, and even that's a whole nother ball of wax. But yeah, so that's some of the things you can do. And one other thing that happened was not too long ago, I had something happen in my jaw, and they actually went in there and they did kind of like a minor lipo to a certain degree. What I want to tell anybody out there who's thinking about doing surgery, this wasn't a cosmetic surgery, but it did have some cosmetic benefits. I just want you to know that you're not going to come out of there. It's not like on a TV show, you come out of there 24 hours and everything's great. It takes time to heal. You're swollen. There's things that are happening. So, you may hear words like surgery max, do this, do that. These things take time, man. Your body's got to heal. But I would say this. If you have a deficiency and you want to fix it, the one thing I will tell any guy is do it while you're young because you're going to heal up faster. The longer you wait, now you're just playing a whole nother game.
Alrighty. I'm going to read some super chats now. Thanks for your call, Beta Bucksberger. Sorry for rushing you all at the end there, but we had some problems. I'm going to put you in the lightning round, okay?
Sounds good, bro.
All right, thanks for your call. Count Woodlands, I'm going to drag you there. I'm going to drag everyone there. Let's see what happens. Right, so let's read these super chats. All right, where was I up to? The Bitburg Slim for $20 thanks, said, all I get on Tinder is single moms and landwells. I'd rather watch adult material and wash my car. Based. Squishy Plums, $1. Squishy Plums, $5. No comment in each case. Squishy Plums again for $2 said, I am 5'9". It's over. Not necessarily, but that is going to be, that will make things quite difficult. Just being average isn't enough today. And again, the example I gave was if averageness is attractive, then the average peen size would be attractive to women, which it isn't. It's acceptable. It's not attractive. Squishy Plums for $5 said, I am so single. I am so single. I yelled, I love you in the Grand Canyon and it echoed, I just want to be friends. Okay, that's good. The Bitburg Slim for $5 said, when girls sleep over at your house, they want to wear one of your t-shirts that makes them look small. If you're a manlet, that's going to be problematic. The Bitburg Slim again for $5 said, Faces BBC is so big, it's hosting its own podcast on Vimeo. And the Bitburg Slim again said, US dollars for $5. The black pill has been round, which I'm guessing around, forever. 2 older movies that nailed it. The Last American Virgin, and there's /Lucas. Yeah, we should look at that on a future stream, just for I don't know, just for the intellectual exercise of it, I guess. Anyway, I think we've come to the end of the show. Dante cannot reply. I don't know what happened with his mic. It gave up. But what I will do now is let's do a lightning round. We haven't done a lightning round for us. Let me join the lightning round so everyone can hear me. Right. So what we're going to do is a lightning round. This is if you haven't done this before. I'm going to read out your name and then a prefix. You state the prefix and then finish that sentence. Okay. So try to be witty or funny or insightful. That's the rule. Okay. And the prefix is my face is. Okay. So I'll read your name. Say, I don't know what that is. Name withheld. I'll read that after. All right, so let's do this lightning round. So the prefix is my face is, okay? So finish it as witty and insightful as you can.
Yo,
Let's I'm
can you
gonna
hear
go.
me?
Yep, I'm gonna mute everyone. Hold on a
Yo,
sec.
face.
Wait. I'm gonna mute everyone.
This is YG, man.
Oh, you made it. Is this a caller? Okay, YG.
This is it.
Okay, let's just take your
call
call.
in the lightning round, so.
All right, let's take your call quickly. What do you want to say quickly?
Yeah. So there's one thing that I was thinking of, because you are always talking about the opportunities of men on Tinder with women.
Yeah.
But I wonder if people anytime have changed the gender preference on Tinder. No homo, but I started to understand that most men on Tinder are sub-5 when they look for another man on Tinder.
What is your
opinion on that?
I don't know if changing. I think the gender you sign up to Tinder with holds true if you change the gender you're looking for. Let me be clear. So if you sign up to Tinder as a male and then you switch your preference to look for males, then it will show you gay men. So I don't think you're seeing women. But maybe the point still stands.
Why are all gay men on Tinder? Why are they all sub-5? Because that's what I noticed when I'm no homo, I'm not gay or anything, but that's what I experienced on Tinder. When I changed the gender preference, I would notice that most men on there are sub-5 in looks, And it makes me think,
Yeah, go ahead. Makes you think what? Because
it makes me think, why do men like sub-5 men have any self-worth nowadays? Do they have any principles, because why are sub-5 men do you still hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah. So why are sub-5 men becoming, I don't say they're becoming gay, I don't say they're not born gay, but it just seems that most men on Tinder that change the gender preference are sub-5. I don't know why that is. I don't know.
It could just be that there are a greater
how
number
many
of
percent of
could just be that there are a greater number of men who are sub-5. I mean, I guess you would expect the bell curve.
Is
you would
like gay maxing nowadays? Is that the new standard? Is that normal?
I think you're getting something misconstrued here. There have always been men into men, so I don't think it's not. You're not seeing a new phenomenon. You're just seeing more ability to express that desire. So
it might be. It might be that the incels of the 80s also, they just gay maxed back then. That could be. I don't know, but this is just something that I observe.
Okay, but I'm just trying to think where to go with this, but no,
I mean, the whole black pill thing, I feel like it goes much further than women alone.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it goes into making friends. It goes into job hiring. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say that if you're ugly, you won't get a job. Obviously, intelligence and skill still play a part, and I would argue in
That's
like
true.
STEM fields they play arguably.
I've been on a very high level in school, in terms of and the thing that I noticed when I searched the name of the people that I was in class with 10 years ago, one thing I notice is, I see their pictures on Instagram, and it's very obviously they are, they are gay now. I mean,
okay.
This is just something that I notice. I don't know if it's scientifically based, but yeah. And there's nothing wrong with being gay, at the end, but I'm not saying there's, and I don't want to offend any people,
I'll add one point. You may see more men willing to engage in that due to inceldom, but I think that number is really low. That number is really low, though.
I mean, I'm a bit intoxicated, so excuse me for that, but that's what I mean. I feel like many men are engaging in these spheres, to fulfill their pleasures.
I would need to present some statistic, or at least refer to a statistic, to make this assertion like with full credibility. But from a chart that I've seen, I think more men and women are engaging in same gender relations. When it comes to women, it seems to be driven by boredom with men, because these women tend to be bisexual. When it comes to men, it seems as if the drive behind this is, I don't want to say it's because they can't get a woman, but there tends to be less bisexual men. It seems to be that they've given completely up on women, but then again, I don't know to what extent that is. I don't want to speak more to that, because I would rather do it when I have statistics to hand and on screen.
Yeah,
but
it's very hard to get statistics on these kind of things, because research is always done with a political viewpoint. So I feel like people don't want to comprehend this, the thing that the black pill reaches further than women, and this is the case with things like these. But it was very nice to get an answer on this.
Okay, all right. We're going to do a live lightning round now. So let me mute you. Let's do this lightning round quick. There are going to be a few people who don't respond, because I'm just expecting it. The prefix is my face is, and let's go with Beta Bucks Burger. My face is.
My face gets me restraining orders.
Say that again. Gets you restraining orders.
My face has. That's what my face has.
Black Ronin. My face is. He's muted.
My face is so ugly. A woman's period blood gets so dry from her coochie being dry. It's like the fucking Grand Canyon.
He just about got that out. Let's take Count Woodlands. My face is.
Hello?
My face is.
My face is my destiny.
Yes, unfortunately. Endless Battle. My face is.
My face is how people treat me. So make sure that you look smacks, so you can be treated better as a human being.
Sound advice. Frail, a friend of the show. My face is.
An insult to evolution.
He just has a knack for brutally putting things. Knorks, my face is. And we knew that was going to go that way. Mimad T, my face is. He's muted. Mimad T, my face is.
Beautiful in its own way.
That's what your mom tells you. That's not accurate, though. Renell, my face is. And we had enough of Renell anyway. Siberian Husky, 1880, my face is.
My face is mocked by the guy's face who being the primary school math teacher.
He's opened his heart to all of us here. Poor guy. Tough Bifong. My face is.
My face is making me look like a weakling according to women on online dating.
Oh, I know that feel. Vapor. My face is.
A rotten tomato.
Okay. Peen monkey. My face is. I don't think this will work.
My face is more toxic than Chernobyl.
Then Chernobyl. Okay. And lastly, but not least, YG. My face is.
My face is a life sentence.
Okay. All right. I'm going to do these super chats real quick and then we're out of here. I said 2 hours. You know I never keep my promise. Oh, there's only one super chat, so let's just do this really quickly. It's from Name Withheld for $10. He says, do your best. That's his advice. Bro, how do I do my best at 5'2"? Also, I used to be called Tattoo growing up from Fantasy Island, and with a face of the bottom of someone's shoe. Exactly. Do your best is not the this typical blue-pilled advice, but I guess his heart was in the right place. Okay, so thanks to everyone who called in, and thanks to our guest Dante, whose piece he decided to pack up and I don't know, fold into a compact, like a crumpled car in one of those crash test sites. His PC just crumpled up and decided no more. But we do appreciate the high IQ he brought to this show. I couldn't have done it alone. No way could I have done it alone. That is it. Thanks for everyone who paid attention and sat through this. And we will be back soon. Just trying to think if there's anything last minute I want to say. Probably not. All right, so we're out of here. Have a good week. Try to be good looking. Try to be tall, and we'll see you soon.